So everybody out there believes that the number one thing that they need is a lot of leads. Some of the things that I'm hearing right now is that everybody's complaining about is they're shelling out all this money and everything, needing leads, and they want more and more and more leads. But the thing that you and I are discovering right now is getting the leads actually is not hard with our program at all. The one thing that we're discovering too is we're getting people these massive leads and they don't know how to run these leads. They don't know how to convert these leads. So they're kind of wasting these leads. What's been your experience with that?
Obviously, the biggest thing is these contractors are out there spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on Facebook ads and Google ads and their SEO. And the biggest thing that we're seeing is, which we call speed to lead. The first person that responds to that lead and being able to follow up with that lead in a timely manner. And especially the smaller contractors that don't have the full office staff to be able to answer that phone or to be able to follow up with them. And of course, these smaller contractors that are 1-2 trucks and they're in the field running their business, handling the customers and stuff like that. But if they don't have a program that's installed into their business to be able to instantly follow up with those leads and be able to capture them, then and turn those into booked appointments to where they can get their foot in the door and go out, and whether it's a tuning clean, whether it's an install, whether any of those type of things. But it all comes down to they may have a ton of leads, but if they're not turning those leads into, like I said, booked appointments, and then once they do have the appointment, are they able to convert those? So that's the kind of things that we're hearing out there.
So I agree with you. And since you built the speed to leads program and you've got that thing perfected, it's been fantastic. And I don't think that's just for little guys either. That's for everybody, because even if you've got 10, 15 CSRs and you're in a demand or they're doing outbound calling, let's say at the same time, it's easy to miss one of those and not get to it right away or see it, which is the other flip side to stuff too, is the speed to leads, but the other programs that we have built out too, the platforms with the funnels and the chat bots and everything else, and pulling everything into one screen so they don't have to look for everything in all the different spots, because it could take somebody a while to go look in their email over here or go look in their messenger over there to see if they're getting a lead. And so especially the little guys, but also the big guys, because like you said, those are the guys that are dumping 10 grand a month. And so they're getting a lot of those nuts. And I think it's very important. You're right. The first topic that we kind of talk about is the speed to lead, what we have built to capture those so they don't lose what they already have coming in. You want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got your Facebook business page, you got your messenger, you've got your Google business profile, you've got Google ads, Google guaranteed ads, or any other type of lead generation that you're spending money on to try to generate those leads. Our platform that we've got built, and we connect different aspects of different platforms that come into our tool, and then our tool recognizes exactly which platform they came from, and being able to, within inside the tool with the automations and the AI bots, be able to follow up instantly on those and turn around and reach out to them by text message, by email, and be able to follow up. That's the whole purpose of the Speed to Lead program, is to get their information and reach out to them quicker than your competitor can. So
the other thing that I like about this, the Speed to Lead and your platform that you have, where, again, just so everybody knows, one spot on your computer or your cell phone, and everything is ran into there. And everything pops up like a text message on the side when you get a lead or you get a customer calling or whatever it is. All those things are ran into this, and they pop up. And when you click on it, it tells you where that lead came from. So if it was your Google My Business or a Google Guarantee lead, or if it was a Google ad or something, it would show you where it came from, and you respond right there instantly. And I think that that's valuable for everybody out there to understand and see, especially, you're right, some of the smaller guys. And then what I thought was pretty cool that you built is those AI bots. The other day, I had a client that I was working with, and he called me up and said the AI bot was fantastic. He says, I couldn't answer the phone. I was in front of a client. I was closing a deal. A call came in, and the AI bot picked it up, booked it, and got the service fee for me. The other thing, too, that people got to understand is we can take this and we can hook this into your dispatching software so it can share calendar if that's what's needed. So you want to elaborate a little bit more from the technical side on that, Tim?
Yeah. Not only does it turn around and have the call text back feature, but while the bot is also in there carrying that conversation, it can alert your whole entire staff. I mean, up to 8 different people. It can certainly alert that way. If one person is busy, then it will turn around and alert you that the customer is in there interested inside your services, and you can actually hop in and take over the conversation and have a manual conversation as well. There's really some unlimited resources there that we're able to build, and we can custom build it and custom tailor the messaging that fits each business on how they operate. So there's definitely a lot of different features in there and a lot of different benefits.
Yeah, right. So let's get back to the topic because, like we both talked about with what you and I have been doing, getting the leads is not the issue. And I know there's a lot of marketing companies that claim that they can do it and they don't, and they charge. We actually back it up. We do provide them. We can get them different strategies and different tools. But what we've actually been finding is there's a lot of people that we will get these leads for, and we're finding that they don't know how to run them. Like, number one, their CSRs, they don't know how to take the call. They don't know how to screen the call. They don't know how to set a call up for right tech, right call. You and I have listened to these videos, and guys, contractors, you got to listen to this. You're not even asking questions like, what is the age of the equipment? Do you remember that guy the other day we were listening to the call, and he sent his best tech out on new equipment that was only 2 years old, and because they weren't paying attention to best tech, best call, and he sent his greenhorn out to a 15-year-old system that was down. And the greenhorn blew through the call and left. And you and I were looking at each other like, what just happened there? They missed a massive opportunity. And then we get on these calls with the owners, and they're like, hey, we spent $10,000 and we got 50, 75 leads this month, or whatever the ratio is. And we've done $100,000 worth of sales. I just don't know if this is working out real well. Well, it's not the lead at all. It's how you're running. These guys, they go out and they're not converting. They're not giving offers. They're not giving multiple choices. They're not doing any of this stuff. So, like we talked about earlier, with us here at Service Conversion, you're not only going to be getting leads, okay? You don't only have access to the, speed to leads and everything else, delivery of the baby, but we're going to teach you that after the baby's delivered, how to feed it, how to change the diapers like a new parent, like how to raise this thing up so it could be beneficial. What do you think, Tim? Am I missing anything here that we've been finding?
No, I think you're hitting it right on the nail, because that's the biggest struggle that we're seeing. And from what we're hearing, like you said, everybody's wanting to complain about leads. You can have as many leads as you want, but the bottom line is how many of those leads are turning into booked appointment for you guys to get in the door and do your thing. And we can turn around and get you those booked once you're inside the door and with that customer. Are you being able to close them? So, and that's where it comes down to, right from the get-go of taking that phone call. And that's where we can kind of help out and help train your staff on how to properly take those calls and set your staff up correctly instead of sitting the wrong guy out or missing that opportunity. So it's a huge thing. If you're the type of person or the type of company that's looking for that type of service, then we need to hop on a 15 to 30 minute call and see how we can implement some of these strategies and help you fix this situation.
Well, right. And I think what we talked about the other day is, do we even want to get somebody a whole bunch of leads if they're not going to be able to show us or prove to us that they can run them, that they can convert them? What do you feel that they're leaving on the table? I think that they're not maximizing the calls at all. And some of the new guys that we talk to that are a little bit smaller that They need to be taught a few things. You talk to them and they wouldn't have a clue even when we got them those calls. Right now, I think that they're leaving, on an average, they're probably leaving about 75 to 80% on the table with some of the conversions that I've seen from not maximizing their calls, not properly teaching their techs. What's your opinion?
Yeah, we definitely hear a lot of that when it comes down to receiving the lead. I see that a lot of your CSRs and stuff and the people that are following up, I mean, the bots are able to do a certain portion of it, but they can send out the text message and the emails, but it still takes a follow up phone calls. And that's the part that we see that a lot of these CSRs either aren't doing, period, are only trying to contact these people once, and then all of a sudden we hear it's a bad lead. Now, it's not the lead itself. It's obviously the money is in the follow up. So whether you've got a huge customer list, whether you've got an email list, whether you're doing text messaging, but the bottom line is whoever follows up the most wins. So, and that's the part that we're seeing that's not happening on these leads. So, and that's kind of where we come in and can help train everybody. And once again, get them to follow up, get them to have the right messaging and be able to convert once they do get them on the phone and be able to convert that into a booked appointment. What about yourself?
Let's talk about that guy that I was just talking about. Let's talk about him again earlier. The one where they didn't qualify the leads, right? I think he's on one of our more budget plans, and he's actually paying $900 a month or something like that. And they sent their greenhorn out to a 20-year-old furnace or something like that. I'm kind of having a hard time remembering right now, but that one would have been turned over to new equipment. It was old. He would have made his whole month's worth of investment with us off that one job. That right there proves that people need to understand that you got to know how to run these things. And after we got on the phone with him and we started pointing some of this stuff out, his conversion rate went up. But then he started realizing that when you understand you got to have a certain amount of marketing dollars out of every sale, he's going to end up increasing his marketing budget because now he's getting it because they're actually converting, because he's getting right tech, right call. Yeah. So, new topic. So, Tim, I went and actually one of the clients that I was looking at helping and going to introduce him to our stuff, I actually went to his shop and I talked to him, right? And this guy tells me that he wants to do better. He wants to grow. He needs marketing. Of course, he needs staff, all the things that everybody needs and we can help him with. And I get there and I'm thinking this is going to be an hour deal. And this guy keeps me there for like 5 hours, okay? Going over everything with me, going through his business with me. I'm kind of giving him little nuggets here and there, what to do, how to do it. And I get down to the end and I'm like, okay, so what do we do? What are we going to do? How are we going to fix this? He's like, well, I don't know. What's it going to cost? And I says, well, it just depends on what level that you want to dive into this. And so I give him a price that's a basic level to get started. And he said, well, I'll call you after I eat dinner tonight and let me digest it and see what I think. I'm sitting there thinking this guy kept me there for 5 hours, giving me his life story. I ended up talking to him the next morning. And he tells me that, I mean, his business is so messed up. He tells me that he had a customer that had a bill for $40,000, paid it a month ago, and they accidentally billed that customer again the other day. And the customer paid the $40,000 bill again, and he thought he had more money in his bank account. But then when they went to go do the reconciling and stuff, they found out that the customer had paid him twice, a $40,000 bill twice, and that he has to refund the money. So now in his mind, he doesn't have the money to do any marketing or anything else like that.
Yeah, that is absolutely just crazy that they would, first of all, send out the bill twice, but more importantly, that the customer paid it twice. Who pays a $40,000 bill twice?
I know it sounded unbelievable, but the thing is, one of the things that I told him that with us in service conversion and your billing and everything else, I mean, we're so customizable that we can take care of that for you. I mean, we can add that portion of it into the package so that it doesn't happen again. And he still felt that he couldn't put any money out to fix his business. And then his last thing to me was, I got to get this thing ready to get sold. And I'm like, great, then you absolutely need us because you need to fix this place. And I didn't hear from him again. But I don't get it. I don't get people. I don't get their thought process of what they're thinking. These guys, if you're one of those guys that you got a few techs and maybe you got a CSO and you're trying to get to that next level, and I'm going to tell you now, if you don't know what to do, if you don't have the steps, if you don't have the processes, if you don't got the procedure set in place, if you don't got the right marketers, if you don't got the right plan, if you don't got the right training, that next level is not going to happen. The next level will happen, but the next level you're going to do is you're going to go down like that guy did. You've got to learn to delegate. You've got to learn to find the right people, work with them, the right team, and trust them. And I mean, I sat there and I told him every single thing that he had a problem with, we had a solution for him. And he still, at the end of the day, chose not to help his business.
Well, from the fact that he was wanting to try to exit out of his business. And that's where a lot of this is misled for the simple fact of people think that if they're doing $500,000 or $750,000 in retail business, that their company's worth $3 million. And that's not the case at all. It's net profit of what you're doing. And then, of course, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 times that. But once again, you've got to be able to show all that stuff on paper and have everything dialed in from what equipment's going out, what equipment's coming in, be able to itemize each of that equipment, flip that over to ROI, and make sure that your books and everything match so you can be able to show all that out of your business. That's kind of where we can help you out with.
The big word that's been thrown around a lot lately that I think is funny, a lot of people talk about it, they don't even know what it means, is the EBITDA. I mean, yes, EBITDA has its place, but I'm sorry, if you're a $500,000 business, you probably shouldn't even be talking about EBITDA. And I guarantee you don't know what it is or what it means or what it represents. Actually, a business $500,000 to $700,000, the only exit plan you're going to get is if somebody wants to make you a tuck-in, if your competitors across the street and they want a couple of your employees and a couple trucks, they might give you a couple bucks for it. But really, you got to damn near pay somebody to take that business because you probably got debt in your trucks. You got liability sitting out there. You don't got enough liquid. You don't got enough backing or anything to support yourself on that liability. You may have some insurance, but you got to understand that the liability is going to far outweigh the benefits at a company that size. So if you're a bigger company, some of these private equities, they will be purchasing out, and they actually have heard of them going 10, 12, 15 times. And that factor is based off of EBITDA. But comment below. Let me know if you even know what it means.